Today we're going to talk about a truly exciting sci-fi film starring Keanu Reeves called Replicas. Let's get started. A brilliant neuroscientist who is recreating the human brain for research uses his work to replicate his family members after they die in a car accident. Hey everybody, my name is Justin. I love to watch movies, and if you guys love watch movies too, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell notification so you guys don't miss any of my up and coming videos. Today we're going to talk about Replicas, the first sci-fi film to hit theaters in 2019, starring Keanu Reeves. We're going to talk about the good, we're going to talk about the bad, and I'll give you the score for this film at the end. So the good thing about Replicas, it does have an interesting concept. It does have an interesting concept of a man who loses his family, who's also trying to recreate a human brain for research, and wants to clone his family and put their memories into the clone, and have a pretty interesting concept, and that's it. See, I guess the only good thing about this movie is the concept, because Replicas is a really, really terrible film that I wouldn't be surprised to see at the end of this year on the worst list. This is a horribly written, poorly acted film that made no sense at all. This film starts off with Keanu Reeves trying to recreate the human brain into an AI, and it fails, but it doesn't stop him from trying to further his work. He leaves work to go on a trip with his family, and his family dies. They get into a car accident, and his 3 kids and his wife, played by Alice Eve, die. And right on the spot, not even taking them home, he wants to put their brain and memories inside of a clone. He calls his coworker who works on those Verizon commercials to help him do this deed. And so they take all the bodies home, and over the course of 17 days, he tries to transfer their mind into this clone. And this is where the movie just really falls apart. I really don't feel the urgency from Keanu Reeves to do this, because he's wasting his time. They just feel so casual about what they're doing. I mean, they have dead people in their house, and they're trying to transfer their brains into a clone. I mean, it felt like there'd be something urgent about this situation, but none of it feels urgent at all. He tries to call his Verizon friend, and he's like, hey, come over after work and let's try to bring my family back to life.
Okay, sure, whatever you say.
It just feels so casual about this, nothing feels urgent in this movie, and Keanu Reeves' performance is so wooden in here, and I know he knows how to act. I've seen his movies, he's a good actor, but he does nothing in this movie to add to the suspense of recreating the family, or the urgency as well. Nothing about it just feels special to him. He just does it, and he does it, and he brings them back to life, and that's it. I mean, it's nothing crazy. The movie does take a turn towards the end after the family is brought back to life. We see in the trailers, and there's a plot with the company that Keanu Reeves works for, and I felt like it was so unnecessary, and it added nothing to the plot. They wanted to add a little twist to the end of the movie, and it did not work at all. And then it just kept on going, and it added more to this plot that just kind of buried this film down, and it made no sense at all. I would have been completely fine if the movie would have focused on just this storyline between Keanu Reeves and his family, but they tried to do so much at the end, it made no sense at all, and it just did not feel welcomed. The movie is so slow. It's a terribly slowly paced film where he just feels happy with his family, and then over the course of 17 days, he has to get on Facebook and be his kid and say that, I'm still alive, I'm not dead, and I have to, I'm grounded, and my dad took my phone away from me, and he has to cover up for his kids. It's an odd choice to do all this over the span of 17 days. There's a point in the movie where he has to think, and he grabs a unicorn stuffed animal and he's rubbing it in an odd way, and it helps him think. So there's a lot of odd choices in this movie, and I feel like it just does not pan out, and the pacing is really slow, and there's this twist at the end that does not work. The performances are wooden. But before I give you my final score on this movie and the rating for this film, make sure to check out my 2019 playlist above. I just added this movie to the playlist, so this is the second movie that is in this playlist. I do have Escape Room up in there as well if you'd like to check out the review. But this movie, Replicas, it was really bad. It started off fairly decent. It had a pretty good opening. Keanu Reeves had like this ridiculous helmet on his head. It's a good concept, I will give it that. And the Verizon guy, I like in here. He's pretty interesting. He's not afraid to tell Keanu Reeves what he's doing is wrong. But this movie had some really bad performances, a twist at the end that just did not work with this movie. And it just felt too casual, and like there was no urgency whatsoever for Keanu Reeves to bring his family back from the dead. It just did not work, and I just felt like it was like a typical task for him, and it just didn't feel special to him at all. Like, even when they came back to life, it's like they all sat down and had French toast, and like it wasn't like a awe-inspiring moment for him. He just like, I did it, cool, bye. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Replicas a D. If it wasn't for the good concept and the interesting Verizon guy, I'd give it an F. But deep down, it's really an F. Thank you guys for checking my review for Replicas. Make sure to check out my review for Escape Room. I promise this movie is a lot better. Make sure to check out my channel down below. You can hit my face to subscribe to my channel. My name is JustinWatchesMovies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.